Gray immediately hits the light switch to bath us into the darkness. Light floods into Evan's office through the bottom of the closed door leading to the hallway, and I feel my blood run cold. Oh god, this shouldn't be happening right now. Gray was so sure that when Evan got wasted at tonight's poker game, he'd stay out having fun for half the night at least. But clearly, he's come home early. Gray assured me Evan lives alone, and I highly doubt someone else is breaking in on the exact same night. Footsteps echo down the hallway, coming closer and closer with every step. Crap, there's no time. What on earth do I do now? I glance frantically over at the window, seriously contemplating throwing myself out of it until I remember we're way too high up for that to be a viable escape route. Hazel, get down, Gray shouts. He tugs sharply on my sleeve and points to underneath Evan's desk. It's certainly better than nothing. I place the PC back in its original position, conveniently perched on a slender shelf built into the sides of the desk. Then I drop down behind the desk and Gray pulls me in close to him. Stay quiet, Gray whispers into my ear. I gulp, feeling my heartbeat slam like a drum. Cursing the fact that I wasn't able to finish the job and extract the hard drive, I look regretfully at the intact piece of tech. Maybe if Evan ignores the office and heads into his bedroom instead, I'll have a chance to finish what I started. The footsteps stop right outside our door. My heart beats so strong, I feel as though it might burst out of my chest. If push comes to shove, I distract him and you get yourself out of here, okay? Gray tells me. I don't want you taking the fall, I protest. But before we can argue further, we hear the sound of doorknob turning. My forehead creases in concentration as I await the sound of the door swinging open and Evan bursting in. But that doesn't happen. Did he open the door on the opposite side of the hallway instead? I remember spotting one as Gray and I were searching the place, though I never went into any of the other rooms. I can't believe this is happening, I mutter softly. What do we do? Wait it out, he whispers back. It's not like we can escape through this window. I thought he'd be playing games all night long, I sigh. I know, Gray whispers. I made a mistake in bringing you here. I chose to come here, I argue back. I know, and I shouldn't have agreed to it. If Evan catches us here, then you'd be in as much trouble as me. Rather me than you. I'm not letting you take the fall. I huff a little louder than I wanted to. Shh. He shushes me as we even move about. For a while, we don't hear anything anymore. Maybe he's gone to bed and we can leave? I ask hopefully. Gray shakes his head, frowning. It sounded like he went into the room across the hall. I don't think that's his bedroom. Did you get the hard drive? He whispers. The faint sound of a toilet flushing reaches us from across the hall. Evan's on the move. Once again, we hear the sound of a doorknob rattle. but this time it's closer. The door to the office swings open and even steps inside. Barely daring to breathe, I cover my own mouth with one hand as an extra precaution against any sound that escapes me. I look over at Gray. The fear and nervousness in his eyes echoes the sentiment in his heart. Could it all be over for us? Even if we hightail it out of here before even can call the cops on Gray and me, I'm sure he'll reveal what he knows to the authorities in retaliation for violating his home. There's no way we don't face dire consequences if he finds us. Loud footsteps shuffle into the room, followed by the audible click of the switch and an outpouring of light. If Evan comes much closer, he'll spot us immediately now. Though each footsteps causes my heart to pound louder, I realize something seems off about them. His gait is incredibly erratic. They seem more similar to a stumble than a step. Just how drunk is he? Crash. All of us are startled by this loud noise, followed by Evan groaning. Evan shouts. I raise an eyebrow at Gray, curious as to what happened on the other side of the wood that divides the three of us. The faint clicking of glass is enough to give me a strong theory. Even yelps. Damn it. He stomps back out of the room, the door slamming shut behind him. For a long while, Gray and I stay hidden, all too aware that Evan could return at any moment. We listen closely, but all we hear now is the sound of water running in another room. Come on, now's our chance, Gray tells me as he gets up to look over the desk to see if it's safe. I let out an exaggerated exhale as relief works its way through my body, releasing a lot of tension within it. However, Gray freezes when he sees what's on the other side of the room. Gray, I whisper, what is it? He doesn't answer. Gray, I ask again, cautiously. We need to get out of here, Hazel, he answers, right now. Initially, I'm tempted to tease him for stating the obvious, but as I move out from under the desk myself, I soon see exactly what he is referring to so cryptically. In the other half of the room, stemming from a collision between a waste paper basket and a broken lamp with a sparkling wire, where the light bulb used to be, is a small but fast-growing fire. A fire, I exclaim in surprise. Too late. I realize I had spoken way too loud. When Ethan doesn't instantly come running back in, I suddenly put together what happened. There, next to the flaming mess, there are the glass fragments of a former light bulb. One has blood all over it. Ethan must have cut himself trying to clean this all up while wasted and clumsy. What should we do? I whisper. Do we put it out? But then he'd know we're here. Gray debates our options. He seems hesitant to share them, but time isn't exactly on our side now. Smoke curls up to the ceiling from the fire as it turns the contents of the wastebasket to ash and works its way onto carpet. We should put it out now if we can, We shouldn't risk this spreading to other apartments, Gray says. He looks around the room, still speaking softly so that Ethan won't be overhear. See anything we can use? Some kind of blanket maybe? Both of us search desperately, but I know in my heart it'll be fruitless. We just searched this room earlier tonight, and pretty much all the contents of this office are fodder for a fire, not ammunition against one. The flame starts catching on the carpeting, spreading quickly throughout. We start to cough from the considerable smoke clogging the air. Not knowing what else to do, Gray takes off his shirt and starts using that to beat back the burning carpet. Though he does find some success smothering the flames, the fire is growing faster than he can put it out. If we stay here much longer, it's clear we'll lose our ability to make it out unscathed. I don't relish the idea of attempting to run against burning carpet. Gray, I warn. You have to stop. We can't stay here anymore. Gray looks up at me, sweat streaming down his face due to his close proximity to the heat. Hazel, we can't leave it like this. People could die if we don't. I pull on his wrist, not stopping until I've yanked him upright. You'll die if we don't go out now, Gray. We'll call the fire department. We'll find another way. This isn't working. Gray lets me pull him out of the room without another word. From across the hallway, there is full view with the door to the bathroom wide open. It's Ethan. He stands in a stupor, holding one hand under the running water of the faucet with a blank expression on his face. As quickly and silently as we can, Gray and I tread down the hallway until Ethan is no longer in sight and we've made it to the living room. Before we can rush out the door, I turn back towards Gray. Do you think he'll notice in time? Ethan doesn't seem to have any clue what's going on. Gray considers my concern carefully. To give ourselves away now, when we're so close to escape. Even so, Ethan's life could be at stake. We can't think only of ourselves at a time like this. Let's just focus on leaving here first. He answers. We can shout a warning as we escape. Hurry now. We move with urgency as we exit the apartment, only stopping to shout back to Ethan about the fire. I hear him moving about after our announcement. His footsteps is still loud and disorderly. We hear him let out a surprised yelp and a few curses a few moments later. In the time it takes me to pull out my phone and dial the emergency services, Ethan comes bolting out of his house and takes off down the other side of the hallway. Ethan bursts through the emergency exit, not stopping for anything or not anyone. Gray, on the other hand, starts banging the doors of Ethan's neighbor. What is it? What on earth do you want at this hour? One elderly man says, jerking open the door. As Gray explains the situation to him, the man's expression changes from one of annoyance to one of horror. He rushes away from Gray to go wake up his wife. This is 112. What is your emergency? The dispatcher asks me when our lines connect. There's been a fire. We need the fire department here as soon as possible, I explain. Gray moves on to caution the next apartment as I give directions to the dispatcher. Once I finished my phone call, I joined his side. Warmth and admiration spread through me as I watched him pound determinedly on each front door. He conveys the seriousness of the situation to them, yelling about the fire and the necessity of everyone's evacuation. The next door that opens reveals an very young woman. She points to the sign on the door that states to refrain from knocking or ringing the doorbell as to not wake the baby. Seriously? How much clearer do? There's a fire. You need to get out of the building, I shout. The woman's face turns 5 shades paler. Oh my God, my baby! She runs back inside, leaving the front door wide open as she gathers up her child along with their most vital things. Gray and I rush over to the next door. We see, eager to spread the message further. We don't stop hounding everyone until the apartment complex's central fire alarm starts to blare throughout the hallway. The beeping is so loud and constant that I have to keep myself from plugging my ears. Should we keep going? What if someone thinks it's a drill or a prank or something? I ask. Gray shakes his head as he places his hands across my shoulders. He brushes a quick kiss on my forehead. I think we've done the best we can, Hazel. Let's let the alarms and fire department take it from here, Gray says, his voice a little hoarse. Together, the two of us make our way to the safety of the outdoors. The fresh kryptonite air is a more than welcome change after the smoky, stuffy apartment. Numerous residents have made their way out and onto the grass in front of the complex, many of whom we warned ourselves. The wailing of a fire truck can be heard in the distance. Help is on the way. Gray and I attempt to sneak past everyone, not wanting to draw any unnecessary attention to ourselves. Hey, you, young man. The elderly man Gray spoke to earlier breaks out of the crowd, coming straight for us. I searched the masses for any sign of Evan, anxious to see if he's caught sight of us too. I want to thank you for helping me. My wife is still recovering from a recent knee surgery. I needed all the time I could get to move her out of our home safely. Gray smiles gently at the man. Don't mention it. I was happy to help. But come to think of it, the man continues, scratching his chin. How did you know there was a fire? Many stories above us, a window explodes. The shattering of the glass sends the fragments flying towards the group behind us and reveals the mass of flames within. A couple of people scream in response, and the whole crowd moves a few feet further away from the building. Using this chance to slip away from Gray's current conversation, we walk quickly towards our getaway car. And that's when I spot him, just a few dozen feet away from Gray's car. Even, I instantly tense up, tugging on Gray's sleeve and nodding in the direction of the danger. To my surprise, Gray snorts with laughter when he observes his business partner. I whip my head back around in time to see Even throwing up in some bushes that lined the driveway leading to the front entrance. Oh, I guess sneaking past someone in the middle of vomiting won't be much of a challenge. Once inside of Gray's car, we both breathed a sigh of relief. As crazy a day it's been, it's even more unbelievable that even never realized we were there. I mean, at certain points of the night, we weren't even trying to hide. Maybe it's good we came tonight, I announced suddenly. Gray glances over at me before he resumes driving, my words taking him by surprise. Really? Do you mean that? Yeah, I mean, he was so drunk he never really noticed much of what was going on. If there was no one else around when the fire started, I wonder how long it would have taken him to notice. Well, when you put it that way, it's almost like we did him a favor by breaking into his house. Gray winks. I wouldn't go that far, I say, hesitant. It seems strange to say that we were somehow helping even when we were attempting to steal from him. What? You don't think potentially saving someone's life is doing them a favor? Great thesis. I'm glad we were there at such a critical moment and could help people because of it. Even, I hate to think of what could have happened if we didn't intervene, I say. But it doesn't change the fact that the only people we were intending to help were ourselves. It feels wrong to pat myself on the back when I was in the middle of breaking and entering. I don't deserve it, I finish. Gray raises an eyebrow as he considers my argument. Do our intentions matter more than our actions? He asks after a pause. I don't know, I say honestly, but I think they both matter a lot. And I don't think how great I can feel about one being good when I know the other is bad. Fair enough, Gray replies. I see where you're coming from. Were you able to take out his hard drive? He then asks. I stare at my hands folded neatly in my lap. A wave of guilt washes over me. No, I whisper. Gray, alarmed by my sudden change in tone and demeanor, takes one hand off the steering wheel and places it on my arm. Hey, it's okay, Hazel. How is it okay? I demand. That was the whole reason we went in there, and I failed. Cursing myself for raising my voice, I tried to calm down. Sorry, I know I let you down, and tears flow from my eyes as a sudden, uncontrollable sob cuts off my words. While I start bawling my eyes out, Gray pulls the car over and immediately takes me into his arms as best as we can manage in a parked car. Hazel, calm down. Calm down. I'm here, he soothes. He strokes my hair with one of his hands and makes no move to stop me from crying into his shirt. Think about it, love. That fire was going so strong, a whole window just spontaneously blew apart. You think any household computer is going to withstand that? His warm, tender tone of voice and the reassuring message of his words helps to calm me down. Even if he had any physical copies stashed somewhere, I doubt anything flammable is surviving what happened, so don't worry about the hard drive, okay? Wiping my nose on his sleeve, I gather myself together. I guess you're right. Oh, I'm definitely right. Gray grins. His bright smile makes my own lips turn upward slightly. I just would never want to let you down, Gray. I hate the idea of you getting into trouble because I couldn't complete my end of things. I understand, Hazel. Gray wipes the tears away from my eyes, then plants kisses along my forehead. It's scary to disappoint someone you care about, but that's not what happened here today. If anything, I'm proud of you. Really? I can't help but ask. Of course, what other girl is going to insist on helping me break into a place? Greg teases. There's no one else I'd rather have by my side, he insists. The Phantom and Angel, the couple that no one would have imagined, but one that makes perfect sense. I place both hands on either side of his face, cradling his head. I couldn't agree more, I say with a smile. I pull myself towards Gray, not stopping until I feel my lips crash against his. We kiss each other over and over, savoring the feeling of liberation and victory. We're finally free of Ethan. He no longer has any evidence against Gray. Nothing to threaten either of us with. But even in a moment like this, where I feel absolutely amazing, something tugs at the back of my mind. Are we actually safe now, Gray? Evan's blackmail is gone, but I'm sure he's going to keep fighting against us. A sly smile spreads across his face. Ah, about that. While we were exploring Evan's office, I found some pretty incriminating papers he'd been keeping for his records. I swiped them. Craig grins. I'm planning on handing them over to the police as a sort of anonymous tip-off. With any luck, this'll be the last we see of Evan for a long time. As the new reality of the situation hits me, I sit straight up in my seat in excitement. Oh my God, Gray, this is amazing, I exclaim. He's finally going to be out of our lives. No more illegal poker night, no more threats to arrange up. This is exactly what we were hoping for. The future instantaneously seems so much brighter. Now I can know for certain no harm will come to Gray, and nothing will deter my customers from entering my shop. Gray and I can just be happy together. No more secrets artificially keeping us apart. No more threats we have to outmaneuver. No more high-stakes battles to fight back to back. Just boring everyday life, and I couldn't be more thrilled about that. I can't lie, it feels good to get a little revenge for him planting that knife on me back in high school. Gray confesses, but this time he'll face jail time for things he actually did. I think back to my own worst moment in high school, Sarah being stabbed. My memories of her bloody wound and of her lying in hospital have always haunted me. Though Even will never pay the full repercussions for injuring my best friend, it's satisfying to know some of his other victims will have justice. Honestly, I should feel guilty for everything that happened tonight, but I don't, I say. I know breaking into his home was wrong. I know what you're going to do with the information you found will hurt Evan, but I feel like he forced our hand, and I know he's hurt a lot of people. I guess intentions matter most to me after all, I conclude. I believe we are doing a good thing, even if we're going about it a bad way. I'm glad you think so, Hazel. 'Cause the bad ways are so much more enjoyable. Gray turns his head towards mine just along just long enough to wink at me with those mischievous gray eyes of his. Now, come on, let's think about something fun to do. Things have been way too serious for way too long. The two of us speed into the darkness, ready to make the most of the rest of the night.